Hello, I'm Key, and I'm one of the speakers for Team 5. Today we're going to talk about more watching, less trust, rethinking employee monitoring. Imagine you're doing your job well, you're hitting your deadlines, solving problems, and collaborating with your team. But then your performance review mentions how little time you spent on Slack or how many minutes your mouse was idle. Suddenly, you realize being good at your job isn't enough. You also have to look busy all the time. That is the reality many workers face as digital monitoring becomes increasingly common in the workplace. Companies like JP Morgan Chase have built systems to track everything from Zoom calls to bad swipes to app usage. According to Business Insider, JP Morgan has developed a proprietary system called WADU, or Workforce Activity Data Utility. It can monitor nearly every aspect of an employee's digital behavior. While the company says it doesn't always activate the system, it raises the question: is it more ethical to build surveillance tools and not use them, or to use them without full transparency? Does intent matter more than action? These are tough questions, but for employees, the answer often comes down to how the monitoring feels, whether it aligns with their expectations, and what they're getting out in return. Sometimes employees accept being monitored because there's an unspoken agreement in exchange for high pay, career growth, or autonomy. They tolerate some oversight, but when that balance shifts, the sense of equity collapses. What felt acceptable before can start to feel invasive or controlling. And here's another layer: not everyone even knows they're being monitored. Some employees learn about it through onboarding or word of mouth, while others remain completely unaware. This creates an uneven playing field. Those in the know might adjust their posture during video calls, click more frequently, or refrain from using their phones. When performance is judged not by outcomes, but by appearances, and only some people know they are being watched, the system feels less like accountability and more like a trap. There's also a psychological toll. Monitoring can encourage presenteeism, where employees feel compelled to always appear active. Even when they are sick, burned out, or stuck on a task, it discourages the kind of invisible work that often leads to innovation.
I'm going to be continuing off of Key's excellent points. Thank you very much, Key. As he was saying, there is a psychological toll along with this kind of monitoring. When workers are feeling like every click, pause is tracked, they're less likely to take the time to reflect or engage in critical thinking, which not only can lead to missed opportunities, but also stall progress within their work. Furthermore, this type of monitoring is often marketed as being objective, but it doesn't impact everyone equally. AI tools might misread neurodivergent workers and flag behaviors that differ from what many may consider to be normal. Facial recognition tools, in particular, create an unequal experience across genders. A 2020 study found that women were significantly more uncomfortable with the use of this kind of monitoring in the workplace. They associate it with power imbalances and reduced autonomy. These tools are built within existing systems of inequality, and they actually reinforce rather than reduce these inequities. Furthermore, monitoring is often touted as a way to boost productivity. Ironically, it rarely works out that way. Managers often tend to overvalue surface metrics that miss the real value of someone's work. This practice can even encourage bad behavior. There's a 2022 Harvard Business Review study that found that employees under surveillance were more likely to break rules because they felt mistrusted. So let's be clear, digital surveillance isn't inherently evil. When used thoughtfully, it can actually make work better. Patterns in email send times, for example, can reveal signs of burnout or chronic overwork. Managers can respond to this by adjusting workloads, making schedule changes, or even recommending time off. If data is showing that employees are constantly switching between different apps, it may indicate an opportunity to streamline their systems and reduce unnecessary complexity. The real key is to use data to improve the environment, not to control behavior. Done right, this kind of monitoring can enhance well being and build a stronger organizational culture. Ultimately, it's about more than just employing the latest technologies. It's about what kind of workplace we want to create. We can create one that is built on fear and surveillance, or we can create one that is built on trust and understanding. If we want people to thrive, we have to design systems that respect their contributions, dignity, and humanity. Otherwise, we're no longer managing people, we're just watching them.